Alright guys, hi, I'm Madison. I'm 19, I'm an Aries. My birthday is March 22nd, 2002. And today I'm just making a video that I've actually was supposed to make on my birthday this year, but I just was, struggling. I couldn't find myself to do it. I just feel like I was just putting on a show. But now I'm finally ready to talk about a lot of things that I've been wanting to talk about. And I hope you just love it and just know it's so pure. It's from my heart. This is what I'm meant for. I'm a spiritual leader. I'm a spiritual guider. I'm here to help people no matter what. I've given my last dollar to people. What comes around goes around, and this is all about, Christians, just seeking God, just loving Him, just knowing what we're here for, and just loving yourself. And I just hope y'all enjoy what I have to say. Also today, I just want to say that if you hear your name, if you don't hear your name, just know I asked a lot of people if I could use their names. I didn't remember all because I did ask in March, and I didn't want to just go back because I actually wasn't even planning on making this today. It's literally 11:42, and I'm making this right now because I just know it's time. What time do I have to waste? Tomorrow's not promised. It's the best time to do it, and I'm so excited for people to know the real me. I hope this motivates you to share what's the real you. One thing I have to say is really know who your family is. Love your family. Do never take them for granted because you never know when they can be gone. And just love yourself. One thing I also want to mention too is that I do have a guardian angel. My great grandma Nanny, she died the day before my birthday, March 21st. And I just want to say, really, just know that even if a person dies in this life, they're still in heaven. They're with you always. They're in your heart. Talk to them. Talk to yourself about them. Never let people go because they're still there with you. Even if they're not personally here with you, they're mentally there. They're, they're just there. And that's just really important because you may think that you'll die without somebody, but really, and also, it's so sad how people literally kill themselves because of bullying. I dealt with this. I'm pretty sure everybody goes through this. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people do go through this. A lot of people can relate. You can literally go from hiding all your failings, people telling you, people that you care about, or people that care about you, saying oh, don't hide your feelings, express yourself, be yourself. And then it's as soon as you are, it's oh, no, don't be yourself. You're not a good person, of who you are. That's not how you should be. Or don't talk about that. We don't want to hear that. We only want to hear the good stuff. Why doesn't the negative stuff, why doesn't the things that actually happen in life not matter when it's the most things going on? Especially whenever you have God, whenever whenever you're seeking in Him, whenever you're saved by Jesus Christ, whenever you have Him in your heart and you accept Him in your heart, you're already a winner. You're already blessed. You're the most richest person out of love. You have everything. You have your Heavenly Father, you have God, you have your Creator, you have everything that you're meant to have. And don't let anybody tell you differently. It's so sad how Christians get killed because of other people's opinions. That's so sad. Once you really just stop worrying about money, once you stop worrying about what these people, humans, not the Creator, not God, not Jesus, these humans have turned away from Him because of sin. It's actually really sad to think of what this world is now. We all don't have everything figured out. None of us are born into this world knowing how everything in our life is gonna go, because that's what God's plan is. God makes us from scratch. He makes us from what He wants, in a person. I'm me for a reason. Everyone says I have a soft voice. Everyone says, sometimes I sound like a kid, which I do. And I always hated it because I was I don't want to sound like a kid. I'm 19. But at the same time, it's that's just good because my voice is sweet. My voice is genuine. I'm not ever just angry, I mean, I have my moments, but I think we all do. Like, I'm not ever just like trying to seek out somebody so badly. Like, I'm always a person that, like, I love positivity. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, if you do one thing positive for someone else, like, 10 things, a million things positive are gonna come back to you. Like, and that's coming from someone that, like, didn't ever have everything. Like, I wasn't the person that, you know, could just go home to, you know, my mom and dad, you know, like, I was always with my mom, and, like, I love that so much because we got so close with her. You know, I literally see her as, like, a star. Like, she's literally my light. Like, she's my family, people I care about, people I love, myself, you know, like, just people in my life that are meant to be here. Like, y'all are the reason I wake up in the morning. Y'all are the reason I smile. Like, y'all are the reason I stay positive because, you know, like, just having y'all in my life, like, helping me, going through, like, everything I've been through with me, like, it's more to me than anything because for a while, like, you know, I didn't always know I had everything. Like, I didn't always think, oh, you know, I'm blessed. Like, I always thought I was just, like, not meant to be here because, you know, I thought I didn't have it. That's not because I wasn't grateful for everything I had. I think whenever you're young, whenever you see, like, how much somebody else can have and knowing that you don't have that same thing, and I'm not talking about, like, a little toy or, like, you know, a phone. I'm just talking about, like, people, like, you know, a home, like, an address, you know, like, supportive people, like, not always the best people in your life because you can't control everything. Like, you can't just have things appear. Like, you have to go through whatever, you know, you're going through, you know, to make you a strong person. Like, some people don't have to go through, like, some people don't have to struggle, and that's amazing because that means, like, God doesn't want them to. Like, God, it had already made them strong enough to have everything. But as far as me, like, I'm so grateful that, you know, I'm so strong now to have been through everything that I went through because who would I be without that? What I talk about today, like, I'm obviously not going to talk about every single detail because, you know, like, this does involve other people. Like, I don't know if they want this out there. Like, the people that I talk about, I've already asked for their permission to, like, post them, and I can't wait because, like, it's so beautiful that these people let me, like, they're gonna let me talk about their lives, like, or not their lives, but, like, how they've impacted my lives. And it's like, sometimes the people that I asked, I thought they would say no, but I'm so grateful they said yes. So I think the first thing I'm going to talk about is my childhood. You know, I've already covered a lot of things, but just as far as, like, me as a person, you know, like, yes, you know, I was always in school. I was in daycare, pre-K. I was blessed to go to Red Oak Elementary since, pre-K to the middle of 6th grade, because that's when I moved. You know, my mom got married. We actually ended up moving a lot. Like, I moved to Howard Junior High in Waxahachie the same 6th grade year. Like, it's all in the same year. And then I moved to, what was that place called? Coppell Middle School. Coppell Junior High. It was, like, middle school, 6th grade. And, you know, I was still blessed. You know, at least I was in school. I finished. You know, I'm blessed for that. You know, moving around. You know, I did stay in hotels. I was homeless. We stayed in my mom's car for a night and went to school the next day. Of course, I was embarrassed. Like, I didn't want to, like, come in, like, you know, looking terrible. I didn't want to come in, people making fun of me. Like, you know, it was already, like, it was already on my conscience that I just, like, stayed in my mom's car. Like, not a house, not a bed. Literally, it was my mom in the front seat, my stepdad in the middle seat. And I can't remember if my brothers were with me, but I know I was in the back seat. And I went to school the next day, like, just, like, normal. You know, it did bring a lot of, like, embarrassment on myself. But, you know, as a kid, like, of course it is. Like, no kid's gonna want to go through that. But at the same time, like, you know, I still made it. So, after I completed 6th grade, I actually ended up going to my grandparents to live with them. I was involved in CPS. I don't want to talk too much about that because, you know, still it's not my full place to talk about it. But yes, you know, I was involved in CPS. You know, I didn't always live with my mom. I stopped living with her, I think 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade. But it was like, you know, I made 7th grade. I passed. I think it was, I made it 8th grade too. wait, yeah. So 8th grade, I finished, 7th and 8th grade, made amazing friends, Morgan, you know, I don't want to say too many other names because we'll get into that later. But right now, Morgan, I love you. Like, I'm so grateful for our friendship. I miss always hanging out after school with you, going to the park, running around. I think it's so funny how we're still who we are as friends back then, if not even more to this day. And that's so crazy because a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people fall off so easily with people because it's they think of distance as an end. They think of distance as the end of something, which isn't true, because if you really care about a person, distance isn't everything. But yeah, I'm so grateful we called today. We call every day. I'm so grateful you care so much about me to want to talk to me about things and are comfortable with me, because I always want to be here for you, no matter what. And I hope the same for you. I hope you always want to be here for me, because I always want you in my life, no matter. Moving on, I think at the end of 8th grade, I did end up living with my mom again. She had her own apartment. Wasn't the best side of town, but it was still home. I didn't care. I did not care if I was with her under a rock, under a bridge. That never happened. But I just loved her so much. I think it was because since I was her only daughter, our connection is obviously a little bit more different than her and my brothers. Not saying that she loves them any less, but just because I'm a girl, and she's a girl, so obviously there's a lot of more things she can relate to me than my brothers. She has to still figure out how my brothers think, because they're guys. Guys always think I'm not gonna use their names or really speak too much about this, because I said, I haven't talked to them. I'm just speaking about my side, what's really important to me about the situation. But basically, I started living with my friend. She's actually my friend from my old school. It was amazing. I loved being there. I would be there for weeks on weeks, days on days. That was my sister. That was my sister by God. I loved her. I loved our connection. I love who we were as a person. We're so goofy. But unfortunately, not everyone's meant to be friends forever. That's fine. A lot of things happen, but I don't want to talk about that. But basically, I actually ended up starting to go to school with her for the first part of my freshman year, because I was you know what, I was just in this whole rebellious stage, and I do apologize, because it obviously was stupid. I'm young, I'm not perfect. So it actually didn't turn out to be the best thing for me to go with my mom. She was working, but she didn't have a car, so she took the train. I was there by myself. Like I said, I didn't care. I did not care. I would wait for her. Sometimes, it was a little scary for me, because, there would be days where, she didn't even have a phone. Well, no, she did have a phone, but she would give it to me, because obviously it was easier for me to call, her store she was working at, than me not have a phone at all if something happened. So, I would just use it, watch movies, Netflix. But, it wasn't really healthy, because even if she would be a minute late, a second late, I would freak out. I'd be no, I hope she's okay. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And, it just wasn't healthy for me. It's not healthy for someone's daughter to think about that with their mom every single night. But I did learn from that, and I learned to just because you're young, you think you know everything, you don't. As much as I hate to say it, because I was that person, I was no, yeah, I know this. And I did actually know a lot more than others my age, because I went through a lot more than others my age, but I still didn't know everything. I still messed up. I still mess up. But at least I learned from it. That's all that matters. As long as you make a mistake and you learn from it, that's all that matters. And as long as you ask God for forgiveness, you ask Jesus for forgiveness, and you really mean it, that's all that matters. So, then I went to the same school with my grandparents. I love them so much. The whole rest of high school, I went to Wiley East. Yay! Kind of. What was our motto? It was great day to be alive and a great day to be a Raider. Every day. I wouldn't change it for the world, because I would not have met the most amazing people in my life if I didn't go to this high school. When I tell y'all about all the people I'm about to mention, oh my gosh, it's making me so emotional just talking about it, because it's dang, you know, this is once in a lifetime where you can literally find like the most important people in your life in one setting. Like, that's just beyond amazing that God put that in my life. So I want to mention, like, you know, I'm not perfect. Like, I am not anywhere near like right about everything. I mess up. Like, you know, I'm human. You know, Jesus would not die on the cross for our sins if we weren't gonna sin. And that doesn't mean any sin is just right, and you know, it's just okay to sin. But you know, it's like, we're not just gonna know everything. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. God didn't make people to be perfect. But you know, I do want to apologize to everybody, like every single body that, you know, I kind of just pushed away because I just thought I was this whole, like, you know, just knowledgeable person that, you know, just had the worst life ever. Which, you know, I did have I struggled. I can admit I struggled, but I still didn't have the worst life. The fact that I'm alive, the fact that, you know, I graduated high school, I made it, you know, I was waking up every single day. I'm blessed. I'm so you know, whenever I got back to Wiley East, I was in a lot of programs. I was always in nursing classes. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. You know, a lot of people in my family were nurses. I saw how they were just helping people. You know, I saw their passion for it, and I loved it. I loved, you know, being connected to them on that level. I loved it for myself. You know, I got to learn more about the human body. I got to learn more about, you know, mental health. I just loved it. I was in health science, then med terms, then intro to health theory, then I did PCT. And it was like all 4 years of high school. I did those each classes. And, you know, I just stuck with it. I loved it. One thing I will say is PCT it's like a extra curriculum. Yeah, like basically it was a class before even school ever started. So it was at 8 in the morning every morning. So I also forgot to mention, in PCT, you know, I had my good friend Alexis pick me up every morning. Like, it was amazing. I'm so blessed for her to do that, because I wouldn't have even been able to take the class. You know, there was no buses that morning or that early because school didn't start yet. There was no buses just for that. So I thank you so much, Alexis, for taking me every morning, even though we were late because of the stupid train. Yep. We have videos of that train for my teacher who tried to say differently. We have videos every day because my house was literally behind a train track. So, of course, like, there was like a little shipment thing there every day. Like, so it was just bad. Like, we tried our best. We couldn't always succeed, but we still got there every day. And, you know, we passed the class. The good thing is that we all took a final exam. So we took our certification exam at the end of the year, you know, after COVID. Everyone else in the class passed but me. Being motivated is the most important thing you can ever do to a person. And to already, like, tell them that you think they're gonna fail, like, that just ruins them. Like, you should never tell somebody you think they're gonna fail, like, before they try. So I was like, nope, I'm not letting this person try to put me down. I'm gonna pass this, whether it's the second or third time. I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna do it because I did this class for a reason, and I'm gonna show her wrong, not just for her but for me, because I know I can do it. So, you know, the second time I luckily passed. I was so proud of myself. I didn't care that I didn't pass. I did not care that everybody else in that class passed but me that day, because I still passed the second time, so I still got my certification. That's all. So there was 3 trials for the certification class. You know, I'm not even gonna lie, guys, I did not prepare myself for that. I was going through a lot. I would put it on myself. It's not anybody else's fault but me, you know. I love that class so much. That was literally my most serious class I took. Like, when I tell you, like, I did do a lot on myself. Like, on my senior year, I literally did PCT at 8 in the morning every morning, then got out of school at 2:52 for the first semester, then went to work literally at 4 every night. I worked. I actually worked full-time and weekends. Always closed Friday night, did doubles on Saturdays and Sundays. I was a server at Cotton Patch. You know, they weren't supposed to give us those hours, but I wanted it because I just enjoyed working. You know, like, it was my fault. I shouldn't have did that with that serious of a class. But, you know, I'm so grateful I passed the second time. And I do want to say I'm grateful for that teacher, because you taught me to, like, you know, never let anybody tell you differently than what you believe in yourself, because I believed in myself. I knew I could do it. I just was choosing the wrong path. I was choosing to work instead of worrying about school. And, of course, I wasn't going to get anywhere with that. But, you know, thank you, because lowering my levels down just brought me right back up. So thank you for that. And I hope that you don't do that to anybody else, because that even put so much low self-esteem on me. So I couldn't imagine you doing that to somebody else. Moving on. I know I kind of jumped to senior year, but it was just like on my mind right now. But the next thing I want to talk about is my serious relationship. I would say this is my first real serious relationship, you know, like where I met his dad, not his mom, his dad. He met my family. He met my mom, my brother. He didn't meet me. I don't think he met Tyler. And he met my grandparents. So, you know, I just want to talk about him real quick, because he will always be someone in my life that has also taught me a lot about myself and to learn to love myself. And he'll just always be a part of my story. Obviously, and, you know, I want to thank everybody who, you know, like was there supporting me no matter, you know, what I said. You know, you're always so quick to want to talk about your relationship with other people so you can get advice. But really, it's just best to keep your relationship, you know, to yourself, because not everybody can give you advice if they haven't been through that relationship. Like, every relationship is different, so it's kind of hard to like have people looking from what you want them to say or what you don't want them to say to like what's really happening. So thank you guys for putting me in my place about him, because you were right. And you know, it's not like I just didn't think y'all right. It's just because, you know, he was my first love. Like, obviously you're so protective. You want people to be wrong because you want to be right, and you want to have that like ideal, like, oh, you know, high school sweetheart. You know, I'm not gonna let any guy break my heart. Like, I know what I want for me. So basically, the main thing I want to talk about, I'm not even gonna talk about like all of it. I'm just gonna talk about what he taught me. So basically, he was older than me. He was a year older. I met him in so going to be a junior. I met him right after my sophomore year. It was an online relationship at first, so like we didn't actually meet up until I had got back from my trip in Wyoming. You know, like it was obviously something really new to me. You know, I thought I was just in love. You know, you always have your first love. You know, I feel like I was still young, so I was like, oh, you know, like boy, you know, crazy girl hormones. But to be honest, like the relationship it was terrible. You know, I didn't realize it at first. I thought I was, you know, so in love with him. I was willing to do anything for him, but finally I just I already wanted to leave, but, you know, to be fair, he pulled that whole, you know, you're not gonna leave me, you know, I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me. And, you know, not to bash him, I would never want to do that, because, you know, I don't always know what people are going through. He's probably going through his own demons. Everyone has demons they fight. But, you know, that was really messed up for you to say to me, because obviously, you know, I'm young. I care so much about anybody. If you come across my path, I already care about you. I'm already caring about your mental health, you know, like what makes you smile, what you're struggling with. I care. And it's not a bad thing, because that's what this world's about. That's what this world should be. But for you to do that to me, knowing that I'm the way I am, that was really messed up, because I was stuck. Basically, at first it was so great. I thought I just got a bonus. Like, you know, we had every moment you could ever want in a relationship. Like, you know, we would have our Valentine's dates, our Christmas dates. You know, we were together for almost 2 years, so that like whole perfect 1 year anniversary, like, you know, it was amazing. Like, I thought I was just like the best person on the earth. But it was actually so weird, because then I started noticing he was bringing me so low about myself, because he did so many disrespectful things that not only should you never do to your partner, but you should just never do to a person. Because like, what? Like, why would you actually want to be the one person in this world to someone to bring them down? Like, why would you want to be that? Like, especially if you say and, you know, you're going through so much mental health, like, why would you want your mental health to ever be on another person if you can't deal with it yourself? Obviously, I couldn't tell anybody. Like, I did tell people that were my friends, but, you know, they didn't care. They didn't want to listen to what I was going through. They wanted to talk about themselves. unfortunately, which was, I wasn't gonna put up with that because I'm just as important as them. I'm just as important as their problems, like, especially their boy problems. But I'm not gonna get too much in that because I'm not here to be messy. I'm here to motivate, to spread positivity, you know, to show that it's not always about the happy things. Like, this world is such a beautiful place. Like, you wake up, you breathe, you smile, you see beautiful things, but it's the people, like, it's us as humans that are making it terrible. So, you know, like, obviously nowadays, I guess positive people get hurt the most because people want to hurt people as much as they hurt, and that's really sad because you know how pain feels. Like, pain is pain, guys. Like, that's just enough said. Pain is pain. Like, pain can, you know, make people kill themselves, kill others, want to hurt themselves, want to, you know, like, it comes with depression, with anxiety, self-esteem issues, like, just everything. It comes with it from pain. And, you know, it's so sad because, like, pain is a part of you. Like, pain will always be a part of you. You have pain, you have happiness, you have sadness, you have joy, you have every emotion. It's not just about the happy emotions. Like, you should not, if you think that someone's really just happy all the time, you're missing the bigger picture that they're probably in pain. So I'm gonna talk about the most life-changing, like, time in my life. I hope I don't cry. Like, if I do, I'm gonna show it because, trust me, I've cried a lot about it. So I'm gonna start from last year. So last year, 2020, you know, we can all say it changed us. I'm pretty sure it changed everybody. The whole quarantine, the pandemic, you know. I know the snowstorm didn't happen till, like, the first part of this year, but I'm pretty sure it just brought over. But my pain from last year was actually in the beginning. So I ended up finally having, you know, the courage, the respect for myself to leave my ex. You know, I just was done. Like, I just was so done. I didn't want to be in that anymore. I wasn't happy. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And, you know, how I left him, it was really sad to say, but, you know, like, I kept feeling bad when we would be on breaks, even before, but I finally felt something inside of me that was like, no, like, you're beautiful. You deserve so much more than anything he's ever gave you. Anything he's ever said is nothing. His actions speak way louder than his words. And you're so much more than that. And I think it was because, you know, I was finally coming to the end of my senior... Was it my senior year? Yeah, the end of my senior year last year. I was coming to it. I think I was finally just in that space where, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm about to graduate. I'm about to be at a whole year of my job. I'm about to get my PCT certification. Why am I in something like, no, that's nothing. I'm not gonna be in that anymore if I'm not happy. I was so happy. I was amazing. I literally, like, felt freedom. I felt stress taken off of me. I felt like I just was a whole different person that, you know, just reborn, because I never thought I would get out of that headspace. And, you know, when people say that, they really mean it, because I've said that about so many things in my life where I'm like, I don't think I can change that about myself, but I did, because I wanted to and I believed in myself. So now I'm gonna talk about something that's just, like, my heart's already, like, starting to beat fast, because, like, when I tell y'all, like, this is not just anything. This is not for, like, people to, you know, just think of anything in my life. Like, this is literally everything to me that has changed me to the person I am today. And I know I'm gonna cry, but it's okay because I'm showing my true self. So, it all started last year. I was actually the spring break. You know, my birthday is close to spring break. It's always after or during. Last year was after. You know, the whole pandemic started actually during spring break, so my birthday was technically during that time. I couldn't do anything. It's okay though, you know. I still was happy. I love whenever people say happy birthday, you know. It just, I love that. That's just everything to me. So, it was actually so crazy because I didn't only get a call from, I'm not going to even say his name, but just someone really important to me in my life, like, from a long time ago. He randomly called me, but he didn't even know it was my birthday. He just decided to call me that day. And then I actually got a like, I guess a friend notification on Snapchat from someone really important to me now. And so he actually went to my high school too. We weren't really like friends in high school. I actually, after I knew he was working at my job, I just started seeing him sometimes in school, and I was like, oh yeah, like, you go to my school. You know, we were just coworkers, nothing too much, like, we weren't even really friends. Like, we did talk at work, you know, we'd always talk about like random things if we were working on the same shifts. And I know one night, like, because I love my grandparents, but I had to tell my grandpa that I was leaving 30 minutes before because he would be there an hour late if I didn't tell him that. You know, I'm young, so I'm like, no, come on, I'm tired, I go to school, I work, like, I don't want to wait. So one day he actually asked me if I need to ride home, and I said yes. And at this point I was still with my ex, so, you know, I was like not trying to be weird, but I just, like, I was really appreciative of that. So when I got this notification, you know, I know some people had, like, I know there's, hopefully a lot of y'all know Snapchat. Whenever you add someone in your story, you know, everybody else can add them if they want to. So I think some of my friends, and honestly, I still don't know to this day who did it, or who he got my app from. I don't know, but I just know he did it, and I'm happy for that. I know that his name was not his name, like, it wasn't his actual name. On Snapchat it was just like another name, so I was like, who is this, like, why are they snapping me? And it actually turned out to be one of my old coworkers from Cotton Patch. His name is Nick. He did say I could use his name, and it's really important that y'all listen to everything I'm about to say about him, because, like, this is just, like, this is so much to me. And he did, like, give me permission to say his name. He gave me permission to talk about this. So not that this is, like, too important, it's just, like, something that is, like, it happened. I remember that you know, I know he didn't start, like, he stopped working at my job because he just randomly, like, didn't show up for like a long time. And I was like, okay, I guess I got another job. Like I said, I didn't think too much of it because I was like, oh, you know, we weren't really friends. But I just happened to notice that, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, like it's good, you know, that my job wasn't the best job either. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. So moving on to my birthday, you know, it was so weird that he added me, because I was just always thinking before, I was like, you know, he seems like a really good person. Like, I wish we were friends, you know, I wish I did text him, because, you know, like, we had mutual friends. And, you know, I just felt like our vibes, and not that I just knew him too much, but from what I could see, he was, like, kind of quiet like me, unless he was around people that, you know, he knew or was comfortable with. And I liked how he wasn't in, like, obviously, you know, he's a guy, so there's too many girls that are at my job, but, you know, he was out of the drama. And I tried to be as much as I could too, because I'm like, why is drama a good thing? That's so annoying, like, come on now. So I remember, like, when he added me, I was like, what the heck, like, that's so weird, like that's just so weird that he added me, like, what a coincidence. And then you know, whenever he added me, you know, he was like, happy birthday, da-da-da. And I just remember that, because, you know, it was like so special to me. And yeah, at this point, yeah, like, me and my ex were done. So you know, quarantine happened. It was like, you know, everyone has their, like, whole time in quarantine where it's like, it sucks so much not being able to keep changing scenes, because, like, I get too uncomfortable. But basically, during quarantine, you know, I did go out a lot, and not like out. I never went to parties. I was never a party girl. I was always like, no, I'm gonna work, or no, I'm gonna just be with a couple of my friends. Not ever a party, because I don't not like a lot of people. So you know, I had those moments where, you know, I can't lie, I'm pretty sure we all do this. We tell our parents we're going somewhere, we really don't, we go somewhere else. I was doing that almost every time. I admit, they know, they forgive me. So during quarantine, you know, my grandparents were like, they blessed me and my brother, because I guess they knew how much, you know, I was trying before quarantine. You know, I was putting a lot on myself, taking a whole nursing class, working full-time, still going to school, at least passing. You know, they wanted me to graduate, and so I did. I'm so happy for that. And I think quarantine actually helped a lot of seniors that, you know, were taking full-time jobs. And, like, it's so crazy now, because it's like, you're like, it's like parents expect people to, or like seniors to get a job during senior year, but it's like that's the most important year because that's where you decide your future. That's where you're like, no, okay, this is where I finally want to go. So it's like, why put on a job to add stress and take that away? But that's as soon as like me and Nick became more friends, I just noticed that I liked how like I was friends with him. You know, like he's the type of person that like he's really good at like motivating people. He's good at like, you know, being positive to other people. It was a struggle because I guess he wasn't always positive to himself. But, you know, sometimes people struggle with that. Like, I've struggled with that before where, you know, I could give the best advice to anybody, but I wouldn't even take it for myself because, you know, I was dealing with a lot of, like, things with myself. And, you know, I ended up catching feelings for him. Like, I was like, dang, like, I don't know where these feelings came from, but, you know, they were there. I told him, I was straight up. So, basically, I mean, I was with the same people. I never lied about that, but I just always wasn't, you know, where I said I was going to be. And I was making mistakes. I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. I was making mistakes. So once again, you know, it's not my business to tell his whole life. If he ever wants to do that, he can. But right now, I'm just talking about like him in my life. You know, like it is sad whenever, you know, you care about somebody so much and, you know, they do become like addicted to drugs, especially drugs that you've never tried before because, you know, all you see on the news is overdose, dying, you know, like dangerous things about drugs. And, you know, that's literally what was all going through my head at that moment was no, like, you know, I don't want him to overdose. I'm already going through this with a lot of family members, with, you know, people that I care about, people that I love. Like, I feel like it was so different to go through that with somebody that, you know, I actually had feelings for. So I couldn't do it. So I just took it upon myself because I just already knew at this point. I was like, dang, you know, no, I like him too much. I don't think right now it's a good time for me to like, it's like I already knew that I couldn't not like him at that point in my life because I'd already found out my feelings for him. So I was like, okay, like, you know, maybe he's not meant to be in my life, you know, like maybe maybe I should just, you know, like, not everyone's meant to be in your life forever. But I was like, you know, maybe just for myself so, you know, I can heal. Not really heal because, like, obviously I wasn't too far in, but I was just like, you know, I needed to, like, get over him in a good way. So I was like, maybe I should just not have him in my life right now because that's easier than just trying to get over him when he's right there. After already, like, a month, I was, like, regretting it. I hated that I did that because all I wanted to do was just still communicate with him, you know, still be his friend. I still cared about him. It's never wrong to care about somebody, even if y'all have a past. Like, that's more better, it's more mature. You don't always have to be in their lives, but just knowing that they care about you, they're there for you, that's beautiful because not a lot of people can say that. So, whenever that happened, I was like, dang, like, I just regretted it. I was like missing him in my life. I just still wanted him in my life no matter what. So I actually took it upon myself to, you know, add him back. I was like hoping, you know, he just understood or just didn't think I was like a rude person or like, you know, a bad person because obviously I didn't know. So I was really happy whenever I did that because, you know, I got the same response back. You know, he told me that he was worried about me. You know, he was like, you know, what happened? And I just told him the truth, you know. I was like, I'm sorry, I just already have so much of that already in my life. So to like add that even more and put more like hurt on myself, more worrying, it just wasn't healthy for me. You know, he understood. You know, it's sad because I think that whenever you're so far into drugs, like, you really you want to be okay. You want people to think you're okay. You want to perceive yourself as being okay because you do want to be okay. But, you know you're not. Like, people know you're not. And that's important. Like, that is so important. It's actually quite interesting because I don't even remember how I saw this, where I saw it at. But I just remember, you know, there was this song called Wishing Well by Juice WRLD. He was the artist. You know, he died of overdose of, I don't know exactly what, you know, the internet can say anything. You know, he did die of overdose though. It was really sad. It was December 8th, 2019. You know, he was so young. He was only 21. He had just turned 21 on December 2nd and had died on December 8th. And, you know, his beautiful fiance, Allie, you know, she literally had him die in her arms. So, you know, obviously, like, my mind was spinning. Like, my mind was going crazy. I was like, no, I can't have that happen with him. I just can't. Like, as much as I want to be with him, as much as I cared about him, I cannot have that happen because I will not be okay. So at this point, you know, like, I was still not doing any better. I was still smoking weed, you know, being around, like, a lot of people that smoked weed. Obviously, you don't think weed is a drug. You're like, no, it's natural. You know, it is a herb from this planet. Like, and it is, but it's still a drug because it's still addicting. Like, you still get addicted to it. People think they can't live without it. You know, I thought I couldn't live without it, but you can. If you put Jesus first, you put God first, you can live without anything in your life except them. But you know, I was still not in that mindset yet. Like, you know, not even gonna lie, I did lose a big relationship with God because I was just going through all these little, like, things that I thought were so much more important than them. You know, like, being so influenced by everybody around you. You know, it happens. It sucks. It's terrible. But, you know, as much as I hate to say it, at this point, like, I'm not going to say too much again because it's private. It's not for everybody to know. But basically, I had just told Nick that, you know, I was like, look, like, I can't even sit here and lie and say I don't want to be with you. You know, I do see us having, like, a beautiful journey because I feel like we can both help each other out in so many ways. And, like, I care about you so much. Like, he's so important to me. And, like, I just know as myself, you know, I was not mentally prepared for anything. You know, I was still going through a lot. So, you know, I had to be real with myself. I had to just do what I knew was right. I felt it in my heart, my mind. Obviously, I saw that music video for a reason because Wishing Well, the song by Juice WRLD, is literally about his drug addiction. And, like, he literally spoke every single emotion about his addiction and how it killed him. So it's like, I just knew it was meant for me. Obviously, I was so upset. Like, I didn't want that to happen, you know. I wanted to be with Nick. Like, I didn't want him to have that drug addiction. Obviously, you know, it's not like we were just friends forever. It's not like I knew his whole life. I still don't know to this day, you know, what he deals with. I'm not him. You know, I couldn't change him, you know. It was really terrible because, you know, like, I thought that, you know, just with me saying, you know, hey, you know, like, I can't be with you on those drugs, you know, I just expected, you know, him to be like, okay, you know, I won't do them, like, to be with you. But, you know, actually at the opposite, you know, all he said was okay. You know, it really took me down because, you know, I just didn't understand. I was like, damn, like, you know, I guess I'm not important enough to, like, I thought this is literally what I thought. I just thought he chose a drug over me. I just thought it wasn't enough for him to pick me over. You know, it wasn't just him. Like, I was dealing with a lot of people in my life going through the same. You know, they were drug addicts. You know, love and drugs don't work as much as people want them to. It just doesn't. It will never work. It will always fail. You know, I had to figure that out the hard way. I was really in a lot of pain. Like, you know, I was 18 at this point, so it's like, I'm still young, you know, I have my whole life ahead of me. You're gonna go through a lot of heartbreaks before you meet anybody, or you're gonna go through no heartbreaks before you meet the right one. It's whatever God wants for you. But, you know, I just cared about him so special in a way that I just was like, no, like, I just feel like we're meant to be. Like, it's just in my heart. So, you know, I just took back my words. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I care about you so much. I just want to be with you. You know, let's try. We'll just see what happens. And, you know, I was really happy because, you know, he said okay. You know, we tried. Like, it was so beautiful. I loved it. You know, I loved just knowing that we were in that moment where we were just both trying to, like, you know, get to know each other better. Like, be there for each other, you know, in a special way. 'Cause, you know, I feel like I have wanted that for, like, those months. Like, those months passing, I was like, damn, like, why do I want this so much for a person I still, like, barely know? And, you know, like, it was so special to me. Like, I literally felt like just the luckiest person alive. I just felt like me and him, like, we just have such a good connection. We have such we have a lot in common, you know, like it was a good feeling to have, except the day where, you know, we met up. We just wanted to get to know each other better. We just wanted to talk for a couple hours. We just walked around, you know, just talked about our life. We were actually gonna talk about like us, you know, like what we thought was gonna work best for us. But I don't know if, like, I mean, I can't speak for him. I just know that as soon as I saw him, it just wasn't the same. I didn't even think about us. I was just thinking about him, you know. I was just thinking about, you know, like, is he okay? Like, is he really mentally okay? Like, you know, anybody can say they're mentally okay, but just looking even from the outside in, I was like, I really don't think he is. Like, I just felt like, it's like, I just felt sadness from him, you know. I just felt like he was just crying out for help. Like, you know, I just asked a lot of questions about him, not even really like trying to talk about me, just him more, because it was just so important to me. I was just like breaking on the inside, because I just felt like, I was like, no, I don't think this is gonna happen, because it's just, I just don't think he's mentally ready. I know now I'm not mentally ready, because I just don't think I don't think I can fix him. Not like fix him like, oh, you know, he's like, he needs to be fixed. I'm just talking about, like, you know, I'm not someone that can just be his therapist. Like, I tried to do that with my ex. It got me nowhere, into a toxic relationship. You know, like, it's really important about your mental health, because if you're not mentally ready, like, already, you're just not mentally ready for anything, because it's you against the world. Like, it's you against yourself first, and that's against the world. Like, that's just terrible. It's not gonna work. You know, it was still really heartbreaking, because I didn't want that. Obviously, I didn't want to, like, feel that. You know, I couldn't help it. I just knew, I was like, no, I can't do this again. Like, I can't lose him to a drug. Like, I just can't do it. So, you know, I just ended up, you know, removing him out of my life. I was like, I can't do this again. I didn't even leave an explanation. I felt terrible. So, you know, after that, I just felt like, you know, I was like, dang, you know, I might still be young. He might not be the one, but I knew how I felt about him at that moment. That was a really hard thing to go through, because obviously I wanted to be with him, but that was the only reason. Well, I don't know that. I can't say that for sure, but at that moment, to me, that was the only reason why we couldn't be together. A drug, like, something that's not even alive. Like, that's crazy. Like, that just takes you down so mentally. Like, whenever you already have mental health issues and you get on drugs, it makes it worse. I'm pretty sure it didn't even help what he was already going through for me to just disappear on him once again. But just me going through what I was going through, the mindset I had, I was just like, I cannot fake my feelings. Like, I can't, well, not that I can't anymore, but at that moment, I just was thinking, like, oh, I can't, like, be his friend and not, you know, feel what I felt for him, because I did. Like, no matter what, I felt what I felt for him. So I was like, this is just terrible on me. Like, I have to put myself, like, first too, because how was I gonna make that work anyways if I wasn't putting myself first? So, you know, I was really torn down. Like, I just did a lot of stupid things. I lost full respect for myself. Like, you know, I can't even name, like, all the terrible things, like, I was doing, because I just didn't care. I felt like I lost everything, which at that moment, you know, I was. But so hypocritical me, you know. I was in a lot of pain, guys. Like, when I tell you, like, that wasn't the only thing I was going through. Like, I was going through, you know, separation. I was like, I almost thought I was losing a family member. I was in such a bad place that I didn't care. Like, I did not care, because he was so important to me. And, like, just the moment that he was in my life, like, I didn't have a lot of friends then, but the ones I did, you know, I did not take them for granted. So the fact that I couldn't even have him at that moment when I wanted to, it just killed me. So I actually ended up you know, just doing whatever, not being who I was. When I say I was being hypocritical, I literally mean, like, I was becoming more of a drug addict as well. Not only was I taking weed or smoking weed, but I had also tried the psychedelic called shrooms. For those who don't know who that is, you know, it's a drug it's natural. You know, you can't die on it. You can fry your brain. It's not good. It's not good. Because I did get addicted to it like hard. And you know, at first, you know, I had took like a little microdose. I felt good. I felt so powerful. I was like I had a little therapy session with myself. Like, I was thinking about him. You know, I was like, you know what? If I just believe he's gonna be okay, you know, maybe one day, if he's meant to be in my life, he will again. So I felt better about that, and I was going through a lot of like good things about myself. So at that moment, you know, I was like, I just, like I said, I didn't care. Like, I just felt literally like I had nothing to live for, which is not true at all, because I still have myself, I have my family, I have my friends, I have people that care about me, people that I still care about. But you know, he was really important to me, and obviously he was somebody that I had feelings for as a relationship. So you know, it just took a whole. So the second time I tripped, I remember I would just always see these little like blue dots. It was just everywhere. Like, it wasn't in one set space. Everywhere I saw these little blue dots. I felt really good. I felt like hyper. I felt energized. I felt so happy about myself. And like a lot of my trips, you know, it just had to do with me, like who I was as a person, you know, what my feelings were. Every time I would trip, like, I guess like the psychedelic part, when I tripped, I would see, like, you know, the stars. I would see random stuff. I would see like me going to outer space. One time I actually had a trip that a demon was trying to attack me, and like Jesus actually, or an angel, it went by and it swooped the demon away from me so it couldn't attack me. And that's when I was like, dang, like, what is shrooms? After that trip, I was a little scared to take them again, because I was like, what the heck, like, is that supposed to happen? But then I was like, wait, like, why am I scared if like an angel just saved me? So I took it again, and you know, I was actually taking it a lot. Like, when I tell a lot, I was literally taking it at least once a week, or if not more a week. Yeah, I would have all these beautiful trips. You know, I love looking at the sky when I was tripping, because I would see such beautiful things as, like, you know, rockets, the color spectrum, like, you know, your third eye, which honestly, all that's false. People may disagree, but when you really know Jesus, when you know the Bible, you know all that's the devil trying to take your mind, as if, you know, your spirituality is like yourself. And no, please do not believe that. It is not true. You know, I know I did them, but that's why I'm telling you this, because I found out after I finally stopped. And when I mean that, I just mean, like, yes, you know, you're so powerful, but you didn't come here by like it's so hard to explain. But basically, like, God is your creator. God is our creator. You know, like, I don't know everything. I don't know if, you know, he put the shrooms here as a test. But I do know that, you know, shrooms is about your spirituality. It's about connecting to yourself, connecting to nature, you know, animals. And, you know, I will always feel like that's a part of me, because, you know, it's what brought me back closer to God. Because after that, I was like, you know what? Like, I have to live for God. Like, I just have to do this. He's doing so much for me. I have to do it back for him. And, you know, it really did help me. But as far as, like, the whole, like, third eye, it's just false. It's just another way of trying to, like, it's like a positive thing, but it's trying to get you obviously going through that. I lost friends, I gained friends. At least I gained more for myself. I gained my, you know, connection back with God. I was going to church so much more. I was praying more. It was actually so beautiful, because part of the reason why I'm talking about shrooms is, you know, I was just still, like, caring about Nick. I was still worrying about him. I was always worrying about, you know, how he was doing, if he was okay. I still felt awful. Like, again, I did not want to make that. I feel like it was the wrong choice, but I just didn't know what to do. So, you know, I was praying about him. And something in my heart one day when I was tripping, I was just like, you know what? I can't help it. Like, I just want to text him again. You know, at least let him know that, you know, I still care about him. I never stopped caring about him. I still love him. You know, it's just those drugs. And, you know, praying does work, guys. It's really powerful. You know, I was so happy to have him answer me. I was like, what the heck? Like, thank God. You know, thank you, God. Like, this is so meaningful to me. God knows how much it's meaningful to me, obviously. Like, he put him in my life for a reason. And, you know, I was just like, you know, we started to, like, I don't know if we were gaining back. Obviously, we never will get back what we had, or like, I guess that's a good thing because it was obviously not a good like relationship. But as far as like, you know, just being able to talk to him, you know, just at least having him know that I love him, I care about him. He will always be so special to me, you know. He's worth so much more than, like, if he thinks so low of himself, I hope he knows that he's literally worth everything. Like, he's so important. He literally brought a light to my life. Like, that might not be much to anybody, but for a whole person, that's important. What's crazy is that I actually got really into Juice WRLD's music. You know, his music was so meaningful to me because, you know, he was a drug addict. He admitted it. You know, he was literally our age. Like, what his songs were not just songs that he just made up. Like, it was literally his emotions. You know, they're about all these drugs. They're about his feelings. They're about like what life has become. And, you know, if you really listen, like, it did help me because I felt like I was understanding what Nick was feeling. You know, I finally realized that, okay, you know, it's not even about like, it's not that I wasn't important enough for him to like obviously choose a drug over me, or like to choose me over a drug. It's the fact that drugs, like, they are addictive. Like, you know, like, they, if you feel like you're in a bad place and you take them, obviously they're the best thing ever because you want to be that happy all the time, you want to be that high all the time, but that just, it's not. And what I mean by he brought a light to me, I'm just meaning like, I cared about him so much. Like, I've never felt this way obviously about anybody, but I just cared about him so much that it's like, I gained so much respect for myself. I gained so much love for myself because I was like, you know what, like, you know, like, I just want to be okay. I want to be the best person I can be. So, you know, maybe like, if one day, you know, if, you know, we're both ready, if it's meant to be, you know, we will come back together. If not, you know, I accept everything that comes my way. Not everybody's supposed to be in your life. I don't know why, guys, but I always feel like just for some reason he is meant to be in my life again. I don't know when, I can't tell. That's on God's timing. And even if he's not, you know, it's okay. I accept that too. But it's just like, everything that happened with him, it was for a reason. You know, we were meant to go through everything we did because it just helped me see that drugs and love do not work. And the reason why, there's actually a lot more things I'll talk about. The reason why I brought the whole Nick thing up first is because it just goes into everything. So, also in the summer last year, 2020, I was living with this beautiful couple. I love y'all so much, Josh and Dora. Y'all are literally amazing people in my life. Like, I could never, ever replace y'all. Y'all will always be so special in my heart. Thank you so much for everything you did for me. I hope the best for y'all. Y'all are already blessed. You know, y'all have your beautiful baby girl. Like, y'all are literally amazing people. And please never change who you are. Like, I know you're not perfect, but you're literally the best. Like, y'all are amazing people that just, like, y'all shine so bright on everybody around. Actually, there was a lot of stuff that happened before Nick came in my life again, before the shrooms. I actually ended up, you know, getting to a car accident. Someone T-boned me. I wasn't paying attention. You know, it wasn't my fault, but because I was not paying attention, you know, it was my fault. My car was spinning. I hit my head. I had a big bruise. You know, I could have died. Luckily, God wanted me still to be here. I'm so thankful for that. Luckily, the people weren't hurt. I was more hurt than them. But, you know, I lost my car, which was not even paid for by me or my family. It was paid for by a beautiful woman, which I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. And that's just terrible because why would I do that? Why would I ruin something so special that I had that, you know, I probably wouldn't have had without her, which I didn't have. Also, I don't want to speak too much on this because, like I said, I'd only do this if I had permission. But, you know, I did actually, I just ended up, I was literally couch surfing last year. Basically towards the end of the year. I was just couch surfing. It was all my fault. I thought I just was better off on my own, which I wasn't because it got me into jail. Yes, I went to jail. You know, I was being stupid. It was when I started doing shrooms heavy. I got everything I deserved. I should not have been doing that. I should not have been inconsiderate. I should not have been, you know, stupid. Yes, I was stupid. And I'm still working on it. I'm, not gonna talk about that because it's just a lot, but, at least I'm learning from it. At least I'm dealing with it. I'm not hiding it. And I'm so happy that I went through that because it's just really important. It's obviously really embarrassing. My family obviously didn't want that for me. I always said I didn't want that for myself. And then, whenever you just don't listen, this is what exactly happens. You always end up doing things that aren't good for you. So, it was my fault. Like, I'm so happy I learned from it. I'm so happy I, took the responsibility for it. It's crazy, it is crazy. I still can't believe it, but it did happen, and it's the truth. After that whole incident, I really, really was like, okay, no. I cannot keep having all these bad things happen in my life when I don't want bad things to happen in people that I care about's life. Like, that's so hypocritical to say. So, I finally left the toxic place I was in. Thank God. It's really sad because, there was such amazing, beautiful things there. But sadly, when obviously you have a negative thing there, you can't be around it because that's when you start becoming negative, and it's not because you want to, because that's who you're surrounded by. So, I still was couch surfing, living with friends, not really much family because, I messed that up for myself too. But I finally ended up living with my friend, who I thought was my friend, which I'm not going to even bash her either because I'm telling you that's not what this is about. She has demons. We all have demons we fight through. I always hope the best for her. She probably doesn't for me, but it's okay. I know one day she's going to get through it and, it's going to be beautiful and I can't wait. So I was really happy at this place, I was still close to my family. I was literally close to everybody. I still was able to go to my church. I went to the Lakes Church because it was, I forgot if I mentioned this, but this is a church. This is also my home church that I still grew up in. It's actually in Saxe, and all my family's there. And I say family as in church people. Y'all are still my family. Y'all know me since I was little. Y'all see me grow. You see me improve. Still make mistakes. So I love y'all so much. Thank you for everybody. I can't even name y'all all because I haven't got a chance to talk to y'all about this, but just know you know who you are. Like, and if you want me to say it, if you have a question about it, please ask because I will be more than happy to tell you how much you mean to me. Okay, so this place too, like, I met a lot of people. I don't really want to say their names either because I didn't talk to them about this, and I feel like it's better not if I say their name. So I just don't say anybody's name over there. But he does know who he is. He's really special to me. He's a really good person. I hope the best for him. I love how he's there for me. I want him to know that it means so much to me because, like, I'm telling you, you never know what people are going through. And he's, like, one out of, like, 4 or 5 people that are here for me. And, like I said, I accept people that come and go in my life. So if he ever goes in my life, I just hope he knows, like, he will always be a part of me. Like, I want the best for him. He is such a good person. He has a beautiful light, and I just can't wait to see what life brings for him. And I'm just so grateful. So, over there, one thing I just want to talk about that's really important to me is that, I did go through a miscarriage. Basically, before I lived there, I was still couch surfing. Like I said, I lost respect for myself. I was just doing whatever. I was actually talking to this person for, I think, 2 months. Literally 2 months. Only knew them for 2 months. That's terrible. Like, trust me, you don't even have to say, I know it's terrible. But, I just lost it. Whenever you lose respect for yourself, you just don't even care what happens to you. He is a really good person. He is amazing. He's sweet. He's so funny. He's strong. He's special. And, he does have demons too. And I hope, whenever he sees this, he just really understands where I'm coming from. Because I know I was door dashing. Last year, I was working a lot. So I was able to get a good amount of money in my income tax. I bought my first car. I was so proud of myself. Last year was really tough. But, I just still kept through with working. So I was able to do that for myself. Whenever I did, you know, I just made the best out of it. I was Lord dashing, and one day, you know, I just noticed that I was feeling kind of different. I noticed that my period wasn't the same. I noticed that it was more spotting than actual blood, and like, not to be TMI, but you know, I'm not that type of person that just bleeds lightly. So I was just like, no, like, what's going on? This is weird. Like, I always have it on the 20th, but it was just not. So one thing I will say is that, like, you know, I did not like him. I didn't love him. It was just the whole in the moment kind of thing. You know, I just thought it was just, you know, so having fun, going through the moments, which was terrible. It was like a toxic friendship. There was a lot of things that we just couldn't agree on, which I already saw as red flags. So, you know, before my birthday, we had actually just agreed to not be friends. You know, it was not the best. It was messy, but we still just agreed on it, and I accepted it. He accepted it, so we just left it as that. And it was like this feeling just came out of nowhere. Like, I literally remember I was at the Taco Bueno in Saxy. This is when I felt it, because I was like, what the heck? Like, why do I feel so different right now? Like, this has never happened to me before. So I remember I just finished my last order that I was doing, and I was like, nope, I need to take a pregnancy test. This is crazy, but I need to do it. You know, it turned out negative, but because I had just felt that feeling, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be patient. Maybe it's too early, but I just know this feeling will not come out of nowhere. And so I just already knew. I was like, you know what, I just need to be an adult. If he doesn't accept it, it's fine, but I need to call him and just let him know, like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Like, you know, no, you might be a dad. You know, you need to know. Obviously, I knew this was terrible if I was, because, you know, me and him had just said our differences. You know, I didn't want to just call him out of nowhere and be like, hey, da-da, you know, we're not even friends, but, you know, he might be a dad, da-da. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? No, like, I'm going to be mature. This is what's happening. He needs to know. It's not something that we're just going to hide from or run away from, or he can just not accept. So I did, you know, I was really nervous. I was surprised he answered. I'm surprised he didn't even have my number blocked. And, you know, at first he was just like, you know, he wasn't like sure. He was like, what do you mean, da-da? Like, are you doing this because of me? Like, do you miss me? And I was like, no, trust me, like, it actually doesn't have more to do with you than so the baby. Like, I just feel it. Like, you don't have to believe me right now, but just please. I was so grateful because, you know, he just listened. You know, he was patient with me at first. You know, I can't blame him for not, you know, getting mad, because obviously, like, trust me, I know, like, the situation is terrible. Like, we just literally kind of just said, like, hey, you know, like, we're not even going to be, like, in each other's lives anymore, and then this happens. Like, trust me, I get it from his point of view, and I don't think he realizes that. Like, I really do understand where exactly he's coming from. Like, he was in a whole different state. He was literally across the country, you know, probably, like, just living his best life, and then he gets this, you know, I'm pretty sure he's not just like, oh yeah, I want a baby with Maddie. Like, no, I wouldn't even want that if I was him. But, you know, just the fact that he was being mature about it, and he was just not, like, calling me crazy at first, or just, you know, he was just there at first. I just want to say now, thank you so much. Like, I'm going to try to find this video, or send this video to you some way, so you can at least just know, like, you know, you are part of my life. You always will be. You know, even if our baby died, you know, in this lifetime, it's still in heaven. You know, I always see you as a really good person. I hope the best for you. I hope that, you know, you one day will understand where I'm coming from. I hope this video helps you, because you can see right now I'm talking about a lot of important facts in my life, and I haven't lied about one yet, so why would I lie about yours right now? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And when I say how you feel about the baby daddy, like, obviously you have, like, such this different connection with them, because you just see them as so royal. You see them as so amazing, so highly, because it's like, out of everybody in this world, you know, like, you were the one that got me pregnant. Like, obviously, like, you're not my first, so it's like, I could have been pregnant before. I mean, I was, but, you know, you were, like, you did give me it. And, like, trust me, like, when I tell you, I was, like, it's not just you that, you know, was mad at me. Like, I was mad at myself. Like, trust me, I hated myself. Like, whether you think I did or not, I hated myself so much. And, like, you know, you didn't help either. Telling me I'm crazy, you know, telling me I was overreacting when you weren't even here to help me. Like, when you were not here to see what I was going through, how many doctor's appointments I went to, how many pregnancy tests I took, like, you weren't here. So you can't. And the thing is that, like, I'm the one that even started the whole we shouldn't be like friends anyways or even talk to each other, because I knew what I was doing for myself. You didn't want that. I did for myself. So if I wanted that, why would I make up a whole baby for us? Why would I put this on myself? Like, you obviously know I have so much I'm going through. Like, I would not add that on myself, especially because I already had one miscarriage before, and that one was so different because I didn't even know. I literally didn't know until I took a pregnancy test and it said positive, and the next day I was bleeding. Like, trust me, this one was different because I wasn't just losing it all at first. I was literally like going through these emotions, going through the pregnancy hormones, you know, going through the feeling of you, because if you're a mom, you know how you feel about the baby daddy. All moms can agree about this. Actually, I hope I don't cry because this part actually literally kills me, but it's like, you know, I try my best. Like, when I tell y'all, a lot of mothers can agree, like, when you get that intuition that you're pregnant, it's like you just automatically like, no, okay, like, no, mom mode. Like, I literally bought iron pills. I literally bought me vitamins. You know, I was trying to eat healthier. I was trying to do my best to, like, move. It was so hard to move. Like, I was already so tired. You know, you get really tired, you get nauseous, you know, you get so emotional. And it just didn't help going through all that and just having you not even just want to talk to me. Like, all I did was want to talk to you about what I was feeling so you could understand. And the fact that you just didn't want to, you were just trying to, like, I don't know, it's like, I don't really know what you were trying to get out of that. But, you know, it just didn't help. And, like, you know, you just made it harder. And I get it, you know, you weren't here, but that's also the thing, you weren't sad here too, because I remember, like, the last doctor's appointment I had before I found that I actually lost it. You know, he told me, he was like, okay, if you're not lying, you know, show me your doctor's visit, show me the papers, call me during the doctor's room. I literally tried calling him, right? Why did he answer? If you thought I was lying so much when literally the doctor was right there telling me all this and you weren't answering, I literally even asked her to wait 20 minutes for you so I could just have you on the phone just hearing what she was saying, and you wouldn't even want to do that. So it's like, what could I get out of that if I was a liar? Or obviously you just wanted to see me as a liar because you didn't even want to hear the truth. Like, I literally could have FaceTimed you, I could have, like, called you, I could have done anything for you to just hear what she was saying. And it's like, why did you not want that when that's literally all you asked for? This society is so sad that you can literally have people that you just think, you know, care so much about you, that are, like, close with you, that want the best for you, just them to be monsters because of this generation. Like, it's like, unless you have proof of something, like actual evidence proof, people won't believe you. Like, it was so sad because, you know, like, obviously when you're miscarrying and you're early in your pregnancy, you know, you want to shout to the world, you know, I'm pregnant. I want to scream this out loud because I'm so proud. I don't care whose baby it's by. I'm grateful for anything that comes my way. But the fact that I was already going through these complications of bleeding, you know, I would not be bleeding for days. I'd be bleeding for days. Literally, I'm about to say all the most saddest thing ever and listen to what my so-called friend what hurt the most is that it's not like he was just, all he said was, I'm busy. Texted me the whole day, was like, let me know as soon as you get there, show me your wristband, show me the papers. But as soon as I got to the doctor, what he actually wanted was to hear the doctor say it, that I lost the baby. He didn't answer. He was too busy, right? Okay. So I showed him the papers. It obviously said, I think it said, like, bleeding, you know, abdominal bleeding. It said more stuff, but I don't even have the papers anymore. And I actually had a follow-up visit to, like, make sure that it was all cleaned out, which it was, thank God. I just went through it naturally. I didn't have to, like, go in and get it, like, sucked out. But it was still, like, that just literally hurts so much because not only did I have him calling me a liar, I literally had people I grew up with calling me a liar. So I actually ended up taking a little vacation to Louisiana. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but basically y'all should know, yes, I was pregnant there. I literally, you know, it was supposed to be fun. I was supposed to, like, you know, have my little fun, go out. I didn't do anything. I literally lay down. I was puking. I wasn't really puking. I was more like, you know, I was nauseous. I was just like, I always had a trash can by me. You know, I was literally miserable. Like, I'm so outgoing. I literally will do anything that comes my way, but that time I just wouldn't. Like, it was the pregnancy hormones. And it was so sad because, you know, the person I was with, so I let her drive my car, and I was in the back seat, and the way my seatbelt went, I actually tripped on it, and I fell really hard. And when I said I was bleeding, like, yeah, my leg was covered in blood. I actually ended up hitting my stomach, like, right here, to where, like, yes, I was bleeding down there, and I was literally feeling like the most miserable person ever, because all I thought about was, no, please, please, God, please do not tell me I just lost it. Like, I'm trying my hardest. Like, I'm not even doing anything right now to harm my body. Please, like, please, please, please don't take this away from me. Like, you know, that was my fault. And guess what she did? She was laughing at me. She was literally laughing that I just fell out of my car, had a big bruise on my leg, and was crying because I thought I just lost my baby. Like, isn't that so messed up? And the thing is that even the person she was with was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's pregnant. Like, what is wrong? What's messed up too is she has a son of her own. Like, could you imagine? Like, I don't know if she's ever gonna see this. I don't really care. But just to any moms out there, could you imagine, like, you know, being pregnant, falling, and literally, like, hitting your stomach to where you bleed down there? Like, I was already, like, going through all these complications. I was already dealing with stress from the baby daddy. I was dealing from the two people that were literally calling me liars, when it's sad because actually one of them has a baby now too, and they were not here. No one was here except the people I was living with to see what I was going through. Like, that is so messed up. I could never imagine being that hateful as a person to even do that. And the fact that she did that and thought it was okay, like, that's just sad. You know, obviously, that was in Louisiana. When I got back to Texas, I still went to, like, 3 doctor's appointments. The last one I went with was with my mom. You know, she saw how upset I was. I was just crying in her arms. I was going through a lot. Like, I just hated myself. I felt terrible. I literally wanted to die. Like, it was bad. Like, it was really bad. And, you know, it's really sad because it's like, when I told the baby daddy, like, it's like, then he didn't want to be an asshole then. He was like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry. You know, I just hope everything's good with you. Da da da. Like, I wonder why you lost it. Like, nah, bro. Like, honestly, fuck you. Because where was that energy the whole time? Like, that's really messed up. And I hope you never ever go through that with another person again, because if you ever get a girl pregnant again, I hope you literally treat her like she's gold. And that still wasn't the only thing I was going through. Like, you know, like, I was already in this whole phase where I was like, you know what, like, no, like, I don't care. I told people, I couldn't hide it. I always know I want to be a mom. I don't care. If I can ever have kids of my own, I will adopt, because I know I'm meant to be a mom. I'm literally already a mom to so many kids out there, and just the fact that, like, I know I can have my own, whether it's adopted, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna have kids. And the thing is, like, I finally figured out the whole reason why I lost those 2 babies, especially this year, because it was on this year. So the reason why I lost them is because, you know, my mom, she's a single mom. She got pregnant at 19. I'm 19 right now. Obviously, God did not want me to go through everything that she went through. Like, it was really stupid. You know, I'm seeing how bad she's struggling. Why would I want to put that on myself? I know I'm going to have kids one day, and it's going to be with the right person at the right time. So now the next part is Mother's Day was coming up. So I love, 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 you know, all these like, older women in my life that are, like, supportive to me, that, you know, just help me out, that are there for me. I literally love y'all so much, because without y'all, like, I know I would be a more mess than I already am, but thanks to y'all, like, even my mom, my grandma, every woman in my life, just please give credit to yourself, and just know that I look up to you so highly, because, like, y'all literally got me through everything. Like, just seeing y'all be strong through the worst stuff y'all went through, like, you don't even know what that did to me. That literally brought up my, like, confidence, you know, my courage so much. So I know this is, like, so over the place, but But now I want to get back to Nick. You know, it was kind of crazy because I just want to say, like, you know, thank you. Like, I get it too. You know, it wasn't fair for me to, like, you know, be telling you that the drugs you were doing were bad when I was literally doing drugs too. It doesn't matter what type of drugs they are. You can't get mad at one drug addict when you're a drug addict yourself. Like, trust me, I get it. I really hope you just know that, like, I never could see you as a bad person. I literally see you as, like, I know guys, you know, you're handsome, but, like, I think you know what I mean. Like, you're just so bright and, like, your soul is so beautiful. Like, who you are as a person, like, please, 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 like, embrace yourself, you know, like, go for what makes you happy. Like, please do not hold back. Like, you're gonna go so far in life. And, like, I just hope you know that I'm always gonna be here for you. And what I mean always, I don't mean just for the moment, I mean always. Like, to the day I die, I'm always gonna be rooting for you. Like, you're always gonna be a part of me and my life, my journey, me finding myself. You know, you're always gonna be so special to me. And it's like, it's so crazy because I hope this doesn't come off so weird, because, like, obviously, you know, I'm not this whole famous person, but, you know, this is going out to a lot of people. It's public, so, you know, everybody can see if they want to. But I just hope you know that, like, to me, I would just never ever think of, like, anything different with you, because it just made me love you even more. Like, I will never want anything to change. Like, if you're happy without me in your life, so be it. If you want me back in your life, I would love to be back in your life. I especially want to thank, you know, Mama Strebeck. I literally love you so much. Like, what you did for me for Mother's Day, like, you literally made me cry. Like, I love you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to that. You know, she invited me to a Mother's Day party. I didn't even know that it was for Mother's Day. She just asked me what I was doing, if I was free. I was like, yeah, I'll come over after work. I did, and, like, all these women were there. And I was like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, yeah, you know, it's for Mother's Day. And, like, when I tell you, like, you literally brought, like, the emptiness inside of me. Like, you took it away, because you made me feel like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm still a mother, you know. I don't care if my baby's not here with me right now. My baby will always be here with me in my heart. You know, like, hopefully one day the baby daddy feels that too. You know, it's still his kid. If he doesn't, I understand. I get it. I just want to thank, like, all of my friends. Like, I can't even name y'all all, but, like, I'm gonna send this to you, and just know this part especially, I'm talking about you. Like, this is about you. And I just want to say thank you so much for being there for me. Thank you for taking a chance to, you know, figure out who I am, to get to know me, get to be a part of my journey. You know, I love everybody. Like, everybody in this earth is so beautiful. We're so unique. We're gonna do such great things. You just have to seek in God, guys. Like, this is the whole reason I'm literally putting out my life out there, is because it's all about God. It's all about Jesus. You know, never think that happiness is reality, because you go through everything in life. That's reality. Your story is your reality, not what people want you to be, not what you see on TV, you see on pictures. Like, no, that's not it. I don't care. A lot of people say I put out too much. It's who I am. It's what I'm going through. I'm not gonna hide and just post me smiling, you know, post the good moments, because it's not always good moments, and it's okay. Like, obviously you get happy from going through pain. You know, everybody goes through pain. Everybody struggles with demons. You know, the devil is real and God is real, but the devil is only real if you let him. Like, if you seek in God, guys, the devil can't touch you. He's a small, he's nothing. And, like, trust me, like, if we just start realizing, like, who we are as people, you know, what God wants us to be, what you know, Jesus is in our hearts for a reason. Like, if we start learning that, guys, we can change this world back to what it's really supposed to be. And also, I made this because, like, you know, I didn't always have everybody helping me through these moments I went through, especially about stuff recently. It's always been just me. Like, I didn't have anybody just to really guide me through it. I had myself. I had God. You know, it's so much easier in life when you listen to God. You know, now I'm in my own place. Like, this is literally my room. Like, this is mine. Like, I'm living here. I'm happy. I'm not couch surfing. I have my own space, and like I feel like this is exactly how my life is supposed to be, and like I'm gonna embrace it. Like I'm gonna keep showing everything, like from good to bad, like obviously not just little everything, but just like moments that mean something to me that I know that are a part of me for a reason. So I just want to say thank you, and like I love y'all so much, and I just hope you take something from this. I hope you text me if this touched you, because that's my main purpose. And bye.